Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and Another Action Movie Night. Tonight, I will be reviewing Batman and Robin, 1997. Batman and Robin stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, Uma Thurman, Alicia Silverstone, Michael Gough, Pat Hingle, Elle Macpherson, John Glover, and Jeep Swenson. Batman and Robin was directed by Joel Shumacher. This one was written by Akiva Goldsman. And this is another one. I just don't know where to start on this. This one had the makings to be a very good superhero movie. I mean, it was following Batman Forever, which, like I said in my review of Batman Forever, Joel Schumacher did a fair job on that film. And it had a very underrated Batman in it with Val Kilmer. This one, they replaced Val Kilmer with George Clooney. From what I hear, Joel Schumacher did not get along very good with Val Kilmer on Batman Forever, so he elected not to bring him back for this film. Which is a good thing for Val Kilmer, because he definitely did not want to be associated with this film. Chris O'Donnell, unfortunately, returns to play Dick Grayson / Robin, and it was a mistake for him to return to this film. Because whereas the character was strong in the previous film, this portrayal is he is just an insufferable, annoying, horrible character. The way he is portrayed in this is just completely a 180 from what he was in Batman Forever. And it sucks because he actually almost kind of gets that look of Nightwing in this. They gave him what basically is the Nightwing look, but with short hair. I mean, they could have, if they're going to go with that, they could have let him grow his hair out and then play the character as he evolves into. And that would have been something that I would have seen Val Kilmer coming back for really good, because Batman could have been a side character in the film, and Dick Grayson would have been the main character in the film, and it would have been Chris O'Donnell's starring role in this as Nightwing. It could have been a Nightwing movie instead of a Batman and Robin movie. But they chose to just put little bits like his outfit, make him look like almost like the colors and outfit of Nightwing, but it just doesn't work. And of course, his portrayal is not Nightwing. And then you have the villains, which, God. Arnold Schwarzenegger plays Dr. Victor Freeze, a.k.a. Mr. Freeze. And this would have been really good casting for this character. But, my God, Arnold Schwarzenegger just plays this character as just a jokey, goofy character. And in the comics and in, even in the animated series, this character is always portrayed as a more serious, dramatic villain. And he works well like that. And Arnold could have played that in this and could have been a really good represent, because he looks great in the outfit. But that over-the-top, goofy, one-liner spewing character that he becomes in this is just far away from what that character is in the comics or in animation. And then we had Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. And the way she is utilized in this is, I mean, she is constantly using her pheromones on, Batman and Robin, and even using them on Pat Hingle's James Gordon to make him an even bigger joke than he ever was in this series. And speaking of James Gordon, they introduce what should have been his daughter. Alicia Silverstone's playing Batgirl in this, but she's not Barbara Gordon. They changed her back history to where her name is Barbara Wilson, and she is like a niece to Alfred. Now, Alfred is probably the only saving grace of this film. Michael Gough is in his final portrayal of this role before his death. Is giving it his all, as he always did in every film he did. But unfortunately, he is in a very subpar film. And this is easily one of the weakest and worst Batman portrayals ever. George Clooney has the look, and based on his past film roles, like in From Dusk Till Dawn and things like that, he could have been a good Batman, kind of similar to the way Arnold Schwarzenegger with Freeze. But he does not try to put any difference into his portrayal of Batman and Bruce Wayne. He makes them the same character. There's no duality in the character. Whereas the previous portrayals, whether it was Michael Keaton or Val Kilmer, they both put excellent duality in the character and in their portrayals. George Clooney is playing him one way as Bruce Wayne, and when he's Batman, he's playing him the same way. There is nothing different between him. And that's, I don't really blame George Clooney in a way for that as much as I do Joel Schumacher, because he was wanting to make this film more campy and more like the television series with Adam West. And Adam West was kind of, notorious for doing the same thing that George Clooney does in this film, where he doesn't differentiate his dialogue as Bruce Wayne from Batman. But whereas that was a 60s TV series and that was understood, and the comics at the time were more campy and goofy and everything. By this point, though, this character was dead serious in the comics and should have been portrayed that way on screen. Joel Schumacher not only tried to make this a campy, goofy 60s style comic book film, but Warner, as usual, they gave him way too much control on this and let him just go completely overboard as a director, same way they did with Tim Burton on Batman Returns. And on top of that, Warner was more concerned with promoting this film through merchandising, through toy sales and restaurant sales like McDonald's and Happy Meals and shit like that, instead of just making a good film. And then if the action figure, characters get made, they get made based on the film itself. They don't get made just, hey, we're going to make the figures and then we'll base our movie around what we're making, these toys that we're making. And it's just, that is the wrong mentality to go about when making a superhero film. And that's the main problem with this film. It doesn't realize that the time period that it's in, 1997, we wanted more dramatic, more serious superhero films. We didn't want this comical, goofy, campy, going back to the 60s. We didn't want to time travel back in that time. If we wanted to do that, we could pop in a DVD of the Batman television series with Adam West. We don't need a new version of that. And another villain that they just threw into this film for no real reason, other than probably toy sales, was Bane. And as played by Jeep Swenson, he might have been a great Bane had they not written that character so badly in this and just made him like a lackey and henchman to Poison Ivy as a character. It is horrible to take that character and do such a discredit to it, because that character could have been your main villain of this story. I mean, like I said, it could have been a Nightwing film. Maybe have Batman get his back broken early in the film by Bane, and have Dick Grayson as Robin make that transition into Nightwing as the film progresses, and he still has the mentorship of the injured Bruce Wayne helping him. And that would have been great. That would have been the way to go. And that was the comic book storylines that were going on at that point in this time period. So would have been a prime example of, adapting something directly from the comics and putting it on screen while it was hot. And they didn't do it. So, my final review of Batman and Robin from 1997. I'm going to give this film a 1.6 out of 10. This is one of the worst comic book character adaptations ever made. And everybody deserves the blame for this thing. Warner, Joel Schumacher, the actors that agreed to do it after reading the crap script that this thing was. Yeah, everybody deserves credit for this travesty that this film was. Not just Joel Schumacher. But what do you think of Batman and Robin? Do you disagree with my review? Do you think that Batman and Robin is getting a raw deal? God, I hope not. And as usual, if you like this video, do not forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And don't forget to click that bell icon to be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by that subscribe button, don't forget to click on the join button to become a Dark Knight fan. Anyway, that's the end of another action movie night. Hope you will join me tomorrow for another video game night. Until then, thanks for watching.